Hey, what's up guys, it's oNightPineberries and welcome back to more Dungeon Defenders 2. I apologize for the last episode being so short and have like nothing in it. It's just I wanted to just purge some thoughts. I don't know what, but yeah. Anyways, so this episode is gonna be my like trying to run into Nightmare 2 or Nightmare 3 and 4 because of the challenges. Because we have another week to obtain the Spooky Champion 2015 Champion title, we need to complete Ethereum Chainsaw Massacre on the two new maps, and that's 500 item power. So we need a minimum of 450 item power to actually attempt it. Maybe 400, but first and foremost, I'm gonna actually just run through my gear, my stats, and just tell you what I've been doing from Nightmare 1 to Nightmare 2. Nightmare 1 is very self-explanatory. You can do whatever you want and you can still be successful. However, once you enter Nightmare 2, Nightmare 3, Nightmare 4, you must follow by these specific rules in order to be more successful, be more efficient. And I'm just going to quickly go over my gear. This is actually optional, Phantom Phoenix. It increases your blaze bleeding damage dramatically. It's actually nice to have, but it's not necessary. You can have any legendary bow, specifically with the trap, the explosive proximity mine trap, explosive trap, equipped to it. So I believe I have a legendary bow with that affix. I could be lying to you though. And Venom, yeah, I'm lying to you. I apologized. I can't. Yeah, I definitely don't have it. Never mind, I have it. Tripwire, explosive trap damage increased by 10%. So that's what you want. That's actually very useful for the build. It's the meta, quote unquote. I've been doing for my spheres, I've been using not the what is this, Fire for effect. I've been using the Lucky Blaze because I just favor the Blaze Bloom because it looks prettier. But as I've been playing more and more, I realized the Fire for effect large sphere is the most efficient because the most damage comes from your the explosive trap and the Elemental Chaos Uber. Of course, you need the Elemental Chaos Uber for this to work. This specific meta, I recommend getting the Huntress Defense range spheres too, both the highest range spheres we can get. For your small spheres, that's entirely up to you. I just like to go for damage, range, and HP. Just a small boost. It's not entirely necessary. I also have no money to buy anything else, but what I've seen is people tend to get the Elemental Chaos range and the Explosive Trap range. I keep on calling it Proximity Mine Trap, but yeah, the range spheres. So like one of each, and then whatever you like or whatever you're lacking, you get an extra one of those. So that's that. For stats, what I recommend is max damage, get enough speed, defense speed. I've seen people get max speed as well. I put 100 into defense crit damage because why not? I'm still currently in the testing of how crit damage works and how it functions. Put 0 into defense range because as I tested and figured out, this particular stat does not affect Elemental Chaos Ubers. It does affect the explosive trap, but does not affect the Ubers. So I don't recommend you put any into that because we're using the Ubers more so. And then 30 into HP, I just put whatever into HP because I don't know. It's all experimental. The stats are really negligible once you get to the higher rankings. For some builds, the most important build that is very stat oriented is the Squire, as pointed out by a lot of you guys. For the Squire, you should max out HP, tower HP, and max out your hero health. And that's pretty much it. You don't need anything else because you're going to be using the Hardy Blockade. So for the Squire, you need to do the Hardy Blockade Squire. That is currently the best build for the Squire. You can use the Black Ballista, whatever it's called, where the ballistas do magic damage and explode or whatever. But from my personal testing, the damage is very lacking and it's very, I don't know, it's very inefficient, I guess. It takes too much time when I'm trying to do that. For my weapon, again, it's whatever you want. Build specifically, I don't know if there is a Hardy Blockade weapon. There are other weapons, but I don't have it. I did get this one, which is the Impaling Cutter, which gives me Splody Harpoon, but that's about it. I haven't really grinded on my Squire much, so I don't know. But anyways, for stats, you should always be looking for tower HP and hero health. Those are the two main stats you need in all these. And also the passive, Hardy Blockade 4%, or Hardy Blockade is what you need for passive. As you can see, all my items have Hardy Blockade. And even though you see it, look at my stats, it was like oNightPineberries, you don't have tower health or hero health. Well, from testing, I realized having that passive alone gives you more HP than having tower health and hero health without the passive. So it's actually better to have a high percentage passive without HP and tower HP versus, let's say, like huge tower HP and hero health with no passive at all. So from testing, I can get up to, how much HP do I go up to now? I get 168k HP now. So that's huge. Before, in my previous videos, I think I had like maybe 100k, maybe less than that at level 1. So it's really nice to have. All right, next, the skill spheres. For skill spheres, I recommend the highest HP sphere, which is Heal Sphere 3. I don't even know why they have numbers anywhere because they removed all the spheres. And then the 2 hero health or the tower health spheres, because why not? You can also do, I believe we can get, oh no, we only can get one. So yeah, for your medium spheres, I don't know actually what to do for these because I don't play my squire. So I put medium the experience because I'm trying to level up his accessories, and then movement speed because speed is always great. For his large sphere, I recommend the Vengeance. 50% of the damage taken by a spike blockade is returned in its next attack, which is actually extremely useful when you're fighting ogres. I've seen ogres just die really quickly because of this, and I had no idea why it was dying so quickly, but I realized it was probably the Vengeance spheres because this one time I accidentally put a trap too far away and it wasn't triggering, and then the ogre was still dying, and it was quite interesting. Explosive Guard, it's okay, sure. I haven't seen it proc too often, but it's more damage, why not? For the Apprentice is all Frosty power and Frost Fire, that's what it is. Frost Fire is the key part of this build. You need this weapon. It increases your Frostbite. The Frostbite Tower's Chill increases damage speed, affected defenses by 80%. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. And then, so pretty much whatever, let me go over the rest of the gear. And then everything else should be Frosty Power. Frosty Power, Chill increases the defense power of effective defenses by 6% of defense power. Can't read. But anyways, as you can tell, my stats, the item stats itself is negligible. Hero damage 159, ability power. There's no real proof of having high defense power increases it. I've talked to a few of my viewers and they said that they didn't see a huge difference if you have defense power or not. So I genuinely don't know. For your medallion, I highly recommend Frosty Power again and a Snowstorm. I believe this, if you have both, that's freaking perfect. But you can't hope for getting both of these all the time. As you can tell, my item power is only 300. It's pretty low. But again, I don't grind on this character, so it doesn't really matter. The main purpose is having the passives. So that's what you need. For spheres, you need to just get all the range. Frostbite Tower range, all the range. So instead of doing the defense range, this only increases it by 20% if you use both. However, we have another one that increases it by 25 and another 25, so that's 50% increase. So it's much better to use these. Your large sphere, you must have the Freeze Sphere 1. This is the most crucial part of the build. 45% chance of the Frostbite Tower to freeze its target at the end of its channel for 6 seconds. That is why this build works so well, because we use the explosive traps to proc the frozen enemies and they die instantly. Oh, it has a chance at least. And for stats, I went in for max HP, damage, max HP, max range, and max speed. Everything else went into damage. Again, I don't play on this character often, so everything else I don't really care. And finally, the monk. For the monk build specifically, you need to have this legendary pole arm. It's called Purging, and the passive Purge Evil. Enemies defeated inside Serenity Aura explode, dealing 332.61% defense power magic damage to nearby enemies. Enemies killed by Purge Evil also explode. So I don't know, isn't that redundant? Yeah, that's redundant. Anyways, yeah, for stats, currently I'm not really using this, but I did find it the other night, so I will be using it in the future, but at the moment I am not. The main purpose of my monk right now is Skyguard Towers. I noticed that Frostbite, I can't rely on the Frostbite Towers for my build because I don't build enough like other streamers and YouTubers do. So my build is just purely tower, just like a regular tower builder. So just beef them up as hell as you can. Again, just the standard 3, and then we have the range, and then yeah, that's about it. These two are whatever you have, it doesn't really matter. For stats, I have max attack speed, max range, whatever you can split damage and HP. For the build that I'm using, I don't actually think we need HP, but I just put 80 in HP just in case. But yeah, it's overall, that is the current meta. It's only these 3 though, the trifecta. The Huntress, Apprentice, and Squire. Squire for walls, Apprentice for frostbite towers, and Huntress for the proximity or the explosive traps and elemental chaos ubers. So that is the setup, the gear setup. That's all you need to conquer Nightmare 2 easily. I also recommend getting a Skyguard Tower Monk. That is the main reason why I have this guy. So it's good to have. Good to have. Now I'm gonna show you a build. So this is pretty much what I've been doing to this is like my progression to Nightmare 2. For Nightmare 1, just do the exact same thing. You do the very first map, Gates of Dragonfall, then you go to Liferoot Forest, and then you go to Throne Room. You can actually skip Liferoot Forest if you're confident. You can go straight to Throne Room if you want. But the goal is for the Gates of Dragonfall, is you just get your initial gear for this tier, the Nightmare 2 gear, and then you can slowly start pushing on higher and higher. You don't have to really farm this map heavily. I just recommend one entire map for one character each. You'll have a good enough like loot pool. But for this build, you should always start with your blockade so you can get a general feel of what you're doing. I believe I've already done this build several times, but I'm just going to show it again because redundancy. So it's 2 blockades in each lane, and as you can see, we already have 1 magic lane. Do we have 2 or 1? Okay, so we have 1 physical resist, the yellow lane. If you look over here, you hit shift, it says physical resistance 75%. This one doesn't even have anything, and then the purple lane is magic resist 75%. So previously I've only used I've been going gung-ho and just done full magic build, but Nightmare 2, it's too hard. It's too hard to be like efficient and be super successful and not worrying about death all the time. So I've decided to do the technique that a lot of players have been asking me to do for a while, and I will show you in just a second. So first we build 6 frostbite towers, 2 for each lane. As you can tell, I'm placing it very awkwardly. I should place this a little further back. You need to place these frostbite towers a little bit back because the ogres, if you guys remember my stats, these guys have 10k HP. Ogres, their seismic slam does more than 10k damage, so it's pretty much one shot for these guys, and that's really bad news if we lose our frostbite towers. And now we go to our huntress, but first I'll build my because I'm building such little frostbite towers, I need the extra air damage, so I build an extra Skyguard tower. And because it's a HP and tower damage build, he has 21. This has 21k HP, so it can survive at least 1 to 2 hits, or 2 to 3 hits, if we're lucky. Anyways, now we're on to the big guns. My huntress. So let's quickly check. Okay, so we have the Uber on. So for this lane, shift is your best friend for here. So as you can see, the sphere or the range indicator is pretty small, but when you put it down, it gets quite large thanks to our boosts, our skill boosts. But anyways, how I build for this map and all my maps in general is 1 element. So for the non-magic resist lane, I put elemental chaos ubers, and then the blaze balloon right close to it, like how the tower itself is around the indicator, the range indicator, and then I just try to make it even. It doesn't have to be touching the 2 ubers, but try to make it so you have the furthest range possible, but still relatively close to each other. You have to do it really far out because ranged monsters in particular, like to snipe out your towers. And at this level, that's really bad news if your barricades go down. Alright, now finally we are at the magic resist lane. What you do is you unequip your Uber. That's about it. You just place it down, and now you can see this is explosive mine trap. Explosive trap. This is still elemental chaos. So when you put down something with an Uber or tower sphere thing on, skill sphere, it will remain with that. However, your stats will change. So like, let's say if I change my gear with something with a high tower health and suddenly no tower health, all my towers will lose HP. However, the skill spheres, specific skill spheres will not change, namely Ubers. So this is explosive mine traps. Same setup. I also put a flame blaze balloon tower. I forgot what it was called. Whoops, blaze balloon tower here because blaze balloon actually does a lot of damage. It also gives me a lot of utility, AoE utility that I really desperately need. So at the first wave, I like to upgrade my Skyguard tower, the front 3 towers here, and then I'm good to go. This time I am going to be grinding up my Monkyatsu. I think we're good. EG. Alright, so I'm just going to show you the first wave or 2, and then I'll show you the final wave just as proof of concept and tell you what to upgrade. And then we'll move on to the next map for progressing through Nightmare, like gear loot. It's actually, you only need to play 2 to 3 maps, or not 2 to 3 maps exactly, but specifically, you only need to play Gates of Dragonfall, then Life Root Forest, and then Throne Room, and then you just grind out Throne Room, and then you can proceed on to the next difficulty. As you see, the Frostbite towers start slowing them down, and anything in the cloud, as you see, there's that giant mist. Whatever tower's in that mist, everything, as you can see right here, all the stats are increased here. It's fluctuating up and down constantly. So that's what Frosty Power does. It's really efficient for towers that, you know, don't need to be up close. Like Flame Burst towers, it doesn't work well with Flame Burst towers unless the monsters are just like hiding like right here, and your Flame Burst towers happen to be like right here, you know. So that's why this build is currently the most popular, quote unquote, the meta. But yeah, for stats, I forgot to mention this earlier on, but for item power, I recommend you be at least 300 for your apprentice, or 300 for your huntress, and 300 for your squire. Everything else is negligible. You can do whatever you want, but those are the 2 most crucial parts because your squire needs to have high HP. I recommend at least a minimum of 100k HP on your tower, your barricades. 100k. That's actually not that hard to get. And then for your huntress, you just need the Uber. You need to do at least 10k damage, or 10k crits. You can't really test that, but yeah, overall it's not really important to have super high damaging explosive mine traps. It's higher the better, of course, but it's all about the barricades, because if you can live longer, you can fight longer. So first wave, I like to upgrade. Whoops, I shouldn't have done that. Wrong lane, or did I get the right lane? Oh, I got it by luck. Okay, so you always have to, before you start Nightmare 2, 3, 4, you have to keep an eye out on what lane is going to be the most painful, and there's usually just one lane, so this lane is the most painful. So what I do is I upgrade this lane completely just to level 1, and then whatever is damaged, I upgrade it to 1 as well. So let's just upgrade all my barricades. While we're at it, my upgrades at level 2 or level 1 chevron is now 210k HP, so that's why more HP the better. But yeah, it's essentially that's it. That's all you need to really worry about. Everything else, you can just go nuts. Go absolutely nuts. I like to upgrade the furthest away stuff first and my Blaze Balloon towers, just because it gives me a happier, warmer feeling inside, knowing that my furthest away towers, my traps are doing a lot of damage as they come in, so they can melt, you know, as they come in. But overall, it's not as daunting as it seems. It's not as hard. I initially thought getting to Nightmare 2, 3, and 4 would be really difficult, but after I realized that there's a specific formula that you just have to follow, then it's pretty much easy. I now efficiently can AFK this. All my item powers across the board are at least 350, except for my apprentice, which is like 300, but yeah, I'm pretty confident. It's not that bad. If you guys are just entering Nightmare 2, this is the first time you're playing this map. Those guys are the worst. Also, ogres have a lot of HP, 886k. I think the last wave they have 1 million HP, so they're pretty much a mini Betsy. If not, they are Betsy. So they're pretty hard. The biggest worry about these guys is not their HP, It's actually the damage they do. As you saw, just one swipe does 5k damage. So that's a huge problem. And his seismic slam does 10k plus damage. So that's also a problem. As you can tell, I'm already taking, oh, see, 10,200. So how much HP do you guys have? Wow, so you guys would have died in one hit. Fantastic. That's very sad. So yeah, it's all about just knowing what to build, where to build it, how to build it, what build to use, and what character stats and stuff you need. So hopefully I've gone over all the basics. This is the advanced part of the beginner's guide that a lot of you guys have been requesting. Of course, I know I just said, I think I said I could AFK this, but I was lying. You definitely still need to be really proactive and repair everything, because it's hard. It really is hard. This is the first time I've actually been engaged in the game, and I've really been challenged to stay active, repair everything, upgrade everything, make sure nothing's dying. And yeah, it's actually, I'm at the point of the game where I'm actually having so much fun I can't stop playing. That's really bad for a YouTuber, because I need to record this stuff, but I'm not. I'm just being really selfish and playing off cam too often. So yeah, now that we're at wave 3 out of 7, I upgrade everything to 1 in the front. The back lane over here doesn't really matter unless you need the HP or the range. But let's see. So this one we have Malthius, we have Tusker, and the far right line is the pain lane. So also keep this in mind, because we're on a monk, our damage is mainly physical. So DPSing this lane is going to be really hard. So whenever you have a physical lane, you're playing, let's say, a Squire, a Huntress, and or a monk, those lanes are going to be really hard to defend because we can't really do any damage to them. And I'll show you some cool tricks, especially for this map. And thankfully the physical lane is on the left side this time. It switches all the time, so just you have to always be like mindful of what the resistances are in each lane. So as they come, try to pull in as many as you can, hurry, go over, and then okay, there we go. I got what I wanted to kill, the Wither Beast, the Crystal Beast. That's the main one you need to kill. Oh damn it. Because those guys slow down the attack speed of your towers within its aura. So that's really frustrating. Really frustrating. But yeah, my damage is really pathetic. I'm barely doing any damage to him. Oh, 4 HP. Holy balls. Oh. But yeah, like I said, I don't really play melee classes in this game at the moment because there's no good trade-off. Excuse me. It's really hard to be a melee class in this game at the moment. Because lifesteal, we don't get a lot of lifesteal. Alright, so we have Tusker in this lane. It's going to be interesting because Tusker, or this lane has Troll Blood, and he heals 5k HP. I'm so dead. Oh, I lived. Okay, well, hold up. Sorry, again, I'm sick, so I have to constantly be drinking water, but Tusker, he doesn't do a lot of damage, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you have automation on your stuff, then it's your barricades can sometimes out-heal him. Sometimes. And then the only issue with Tusker is, well, at least for me, he always has Troll Blood, so he always, as you can see, he's healing 5k, 6k HP per. So this is, it's a major pain in the ass. Ouch. But yeah, it's you just need to be mindful of your surroundings. Oh, and I died. I hate the fact that he can hit behind you. But yeah, my towers are all holding up. Oh yeah, you have to learn how to read the minimap as well. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's not really clear on how to read the minimap. There's a Skelly back here. Killed him. Let's kill Malthius. He's being annoying. Oh my god, skeletons. But yeah, you have to learn how to read the minimap, even though it's just like a bunch of blocks, the green blocks. Occasionally, because I can't see my tower's HP right now, if you look at the minimap right now, they're all green. That means they're all still healthy. Once they start changing the hue of green into, ooh, we got a new weapon. Or is that a ring? I think it was a ring. Yeah, so they're still good, but they'll slowly start to change the color red. That means they're in danger, and they have no health. My throat. But yeah, you just need his regen is ridiculous. You just need to be really patient about it. Also, you have to trigger your blaze balloon traps yourself. As annoying as that seems, it's actually useful to do that. That's why having a range class is good. Oh my god, always dying. But at least he's finally dead. But yeah, it's just trial and error, guys. I know a lot of you guys have been complaining that Dungeon Defenders solo or Dungeon Defenders 2 solo is too hard. I mean, if you think about it and you watch all my videos, I've gone this far completely solo. Yes, I did play with you guys a few times on streams, but that was mainly for grinding levels, never like gear looting and whatnot. I haven't been leeching off of anyone yet, so So it's I'm gonna try to continue going into Nightmare 4 solo. Apparently there's not many people who do it because it gets just boring, but I enjoy playing solo. So now I get to wave 4. I upgrade this to level 2, and this is the point where you have to just be mindful of, again, the pain lane, as I call it. And then yeah, just upgrade and repair what you need. Don't over upgrade. On the 6th wave, always on the 6th wave, I always upgrade all my barracks to level 2. So 2 chevrons. Because that's... the next wave is the Ogre wave, which is 3 Ogres come and they bring a lot of hurt. So you just have to be prepared for that. And if you're struggling a lot, I highly recommend you go to a lower difficulty and grind up better gear again. Passives, item passives. If your squire doesn't have hardy blockade on all of his stuff, then go back to a previous map and regrind until you have hardy blockade, because that's a crucial stat that you need for the squire. Also, frosty power. If all your items don't have frosty power, go back and grind until you do. It's pretty much just grinding. It's just like Diablo, and I'm pretty sure they want this game kind of similar to be like Diablo, just constantly grind it out. For the Huntress, Tripwire, I believe it was called, and there's another one, Volatile Schematics. Those are the 2 good ones to have, but they're not required. As you can tell, I don't have any of them on my stuff. I'm just purely tower damage and tower health with the help of the Uber and the Large Sphere. So it's all about itemization, knowing where to build, how to build it. And if you have any questions for this map or how to progress onto Nightmare 2, please tell me in the comments below. In the next video, I'll be going towards starting to progress into the mid Nightmare 2. And yeah, I have actually not tried it yet, so it's going to be interesting for me as well. It's all first time for everything. But anyways, guys, oNightPineberries, hope you enjoyed the video. Love you long times. Thanks for watching. Peace.